with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Sports Professor.
Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up, friends? Yes, indeedy. Happy Monday, indeed it is. Yeah, boy, Omar, the Professor Fonseca, here with you for another weekly installment of the Professor's Semanalmente, which, again, for you marks out there, just means weekly. That's okay. It's all good. You see the ball and bud sign behind the kid. You also see the QR code, up on this side. If you go to that QR code, you can scan it. You can click the link. You will be able to get to our page where you can then subscribe to our YouTube, join follow on Instagram, follow on Twitter, and all the other links that are important for our social media. And make sure you're always sharing and liking the video. If you're out there watching right now, please hit that like button. It helps to get the algorithm to get the video out there more, and we appreciate the love. So again, I am Omar, the Professor Fonseca, here with another installment of Professor Semanalmente, and I want to wish a very happy Thanksgiving to everybody. This week, obviously on Thursday, I will be flying home to go see my mother and my father and all my friends. So I'll be flying home on Wednesday. So if you're looking to hang out with me while I'm back home, make sure you hit me up and we can make it happen while I'm back there. I'll be back there for a while, so should be there for at least 4 weeks, probably 6, more like it. I bought a one-way ticket, so we'll see. But shout out to my friends, Katie and Michael, who yesterday surprised me with a mini Friendsgiving, which is why you didn't see me on the Sunday Surge last night at the Bottom Line Sports. Shout out my boys at the Bottom Line Sports. Make sure you join our Facebook group. But yeah, I wasn't able to join them yesterday because I got a surprise impromptu Friendsgiving, which was awesome. And I enjoyed very much because I won't see these friends again for a few months. So that being said, everybody on Instagram, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Facebook, thank you for tuning in. So as we move into Thanksgiving, I just want to give a little history because, some people don't even know the true origins of Thanksgiving, right? We know it's a national holiday. We know it falls on the last Thursday of every November. But when was the first Thanksgiving, right? We've all heard of the Plymouth and the Pilgrims and the Indians and the Native Americans, right? As they should be called. But anyway, so in 1621, the Plymouth colonists from England and the Native American Wampanoag people shared an autumn harvest feast, which was recognized as the first Thanksgiving. So that obviously was 403 years ago. For more than 2 centuries, some states and colonies before, obviously, the Civil War celebrated days of Thanksgiving. But it wasn't until 1863, in the midst of that same Civil War, the aforementioned Civil War, that President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed a national Thanksgiving Day to be held each November. Now, obviously, there are some differences of opinions in these sorts of things, right? Many Americans, including many Native Americans, believe that these Thanksgiving celebrations mask the true history of the oppression and the bloodshed and it was genocide, we call it what it is, of the Native American people from the white European settlers. It's just fact. So a lot of people do hold a resentment to it, and America actually all of November is Native American Heritage Month, but the Native American Heritage Day is the day after Thanksgiving. Now, a lot of Native Americans take offense to that, seeing how it's also on Black Friday. They find that to be too commercial of a holiday. And now, obviously, Black Friday came later. But also, I mean, depending on where you stand on the issue, again, facts are facts. The settlers came over and they brought diseases and they brought all kinds of things and I mean, they learned all these trades and skills from the Native Americans only to turn around and completely obliterate them in the name of spreading faith, religion, the European, extending the European, I guess, territory, seeing how they were trying to find new lands. And granted, yes, they did find new lands. They did it in the name of their people, in the name of their religion, in the name of whatever it was that they were trying to do. We know Christopher Columbus is the most famous of those, a very, very shrouded history on and what you may feel about him. Being Catholic, they love Christopher Columbus, but me personally, my belief is he was just another European settler that committed genocide, and I think he was, he should not be celebrated as much as he is, but that's neither here nor there. I don't have any say in it. It's just my opinion. But either way, people need to be celebrated, and that's why we have this holiday. We need to celebrate the fact that we are a nation made of different races, religions, people, and that's what makes us beautiful, is that we are a melting pot of diversity. But that's also what's been bringing us down lately. That's also what is causing the issues and causing the divisiveness in society today. So, this Thanksgiving, we should all look to try to bring more kindness and unity into our communities in order to, move forward in a way that we can all make do with each other, right? We don't need to fight with each other because we have differing opinions. Those differing opinions, and a lot of people are going to, what is happening there? Excuse me. I had a loud noise in my headphone. But so anyway, I think it's a good day that we can use. Most of the people use it obviously to celebrate with their families, like I will be doing. I did want to give a little bit of backstory on the Native American Heritage Day, though. One reason is because it was actually, I doubt anybody knows this. Well, some people do, I'm sure. Anybody watching this probably doesn't know this. But it was actually in 1910 advocated by the Boy Scouts of America. So I thought that was pretty cool when I read that fact, because I myself was a Boy Scout growing up. And so Boy Scouts started commemorating it back in 1912, and it was recognized by America until 1915, when then it was formally brought across the United States. So just a little bit of history there. But anyways, I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of that turkey, that tryptophan, get very sleepy, watch football, lay on the couch, and all that good stuff. So make sure you are subscribed at Ball and Buds, because we'll have shows all this week. Bottom Line Sports running tomorrow night. Again, make sure you join the Bottom Line Sports on Facebook. And then I will be back on Wednesday with my streaming partner in crime, brother from another, Clubber D, the Combat G. And we will have two of our very close friends on that will be coming on to talk about the new projects they have. I don't want to ruin any surprise or anything. It should be a good show, and there will be a lot of jokes thrown around. So make sure you all tune in for that. That will be 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Subscribe at Ball and Buds. Make sure you hit that like button if you're watching right now. Please give us a like or whatever you want, a little laugh. Anyways, happy retirement to Rafael Nadal. At 38 years old, he is officially retired from professional tennis after more than 20 years on the tour and 22 Grand Slam titles, two more than his nemesis Roger Federer, and second only to Novak Djokovic, who is still active and has 24, the most of all time. I think it depends where you stand on how you feel about Djokovic. A lot of people just don't like him because of how brash and cocky he is and some of his stances in the past, especially during COVID. I personally think both Nadal and Federer are better than Djokovic, but I'm not going to take anything away from a person who won 24 Grand Slam titles. So, you know what I mean? Speaking of titles, shout out to a lady and then a ladies team. First of all, I don't want to pronounce this incorrectly, and GT Takati from Thailand actually won the women's LPGA Tour over the weekend, a prize of $4.3 million to up her earnings to 6.1. The overall number one all year long, you heard me talk about her before on the Bottom Line Sports, Nelly Korda, tied for fifth and ended up there. So good year for her. She tried. Hopefully better next year. Moving on to baseball. The AL, NL Cy Youngs and MVPs were announced. For the AL Cy Young, the Detroit Tigers' Tarek Skubal, and the NL side, Atlanta Braves' Chris Sale, both won the Cy Youngs, while for the MVPs, it's who we thought it was. In the AL, it is going to be Aaron Judge. In the NL, is going to be Shohei Ohtani. Not sure that we thought it was going to be anywhere else. I don't know where I put my water at, but I'm kind of a little parched now. Anyways, I'm going to keep it moving because I don't know where it went. So yeah, shout out to all of those gentlemen for winning those awards. We look forward to next baseball season. Let's get into some other crazy stories before we move into the United States and world news. First of all, we got to shout out Saquon Barkley at 255 yards yesterday. Just in the MVP race, completely obliterating. First of all, it was a Eagles record, for rushing yards in a game, but also, not to mention, the Giants are just a dumpster fire of an organization. I know because I'm a Raiders fan, so I can say things like that. How the hell you decide to pay Daniel Jones $40 million, don't pay Saquon Barkley, let him sign with your rival, and then look stupid because you cut Daniel Jones now? Y'all a bunch of dummies. All y'all deserve to be fired. Every single one of y'all deserve to be fired. John Mara should be in there today firing all y'all fools. They're going to have to start all over. So we'll see what happens there. Another team, two more teams actually that might have to start all over. Both my Raiders, I'm not going to take them out of it. They deserve some blame here. And the Dallas Cowboys. All of these teams. These two will be shanking for Shador, as I like to say, as they'll both be aiming to get Shador Sanders on their team. I am hoping my Raiders obviously are able to draft him, not only bring us a quarterback that will make us relevant again, but also, take him away from Dallas. Why not? Although I would like to see Shador and Dion team up in Dallas. That would be kind of cool, I believe. I just don't know that's going to happen. I don't see the Raiders winning many more games, and they'll probably be in the draft order above the Cowboys. So yeah, but we'll see. They're trying to aim for Jerry Jones wants Dion and Shador in Dallas, so we'll see what happens there. I have inside sources. My NFL insider Shane Peacher, shout out my brother, actually gave me insider information. He spoke with Michael Irvin, or got word from Michael Irvin, rather, his camp, that's 100% certain that they're trying to do that in Cowboy land, get the Dion Shador combo. So that has been verified by two sources of mine. So to be 100% factual. So that's pretty much a guarantee as you can get. We'll come back to sports later when we go into our weekly rankings. But for now, let's move into the United States news and other news around the world, which these two will kind of coincide with each other. But President Biden, before he's leaving, has announced that U.S. will send anti-personnel landmines to Ukraine, reversing a ban that has been in place since 2022. This is supposed to help Ukraine shore up their defense against Russian deployments of small squads across the border lines. Rights groups say that these mines will endanger civilians, which is why 160 countries in the 1997 Ottawa Convention banned the mines that are designated to detonate on contact. Russia and U.S. are not part of that treaty, and Russia has deployed their own mines of this type. So I don't see any issue with that, although, and I said this before last year when this war, or a couple years ago when this war started, and I was doing the podcast audio version, that Russia was keeping tabs on whether the United States would actually send American manufactured weapons for Ukraine to use, and now they have. Biden making a very controversial decision to send those and let them be used before leaving. But I mean, I'm honestly surprised it hadn't already happened. I knew it was going to happen at some point, no matter who the president was, because as long as we're keep giving them money and helping them, they're obviously at some point they're going to have to use our equipment because they're not going to run. They're going to run out of their own, and that's exactly what happened. So separately, U.S. closed our embassy in Kiev yesterday, just in case there's possible air attacks of the launch of short-range ballistic missiles, or SRBMs, as the acronym is. The embassies of several European countries have followed suit. Now, this has moved into the bigger, even bigger world stages, because these, or Putin too, especially, is started to be investigated by the ICC, the International Criminal Court. The reason I bring them up is because they just issued an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a massive escalation. Obviously, they are charging him with war crimes in Gaza. But they're also charging, I believe it's the leader of Hamas or the leader of Hezbollah, I'm not sure, with similar charges. But it's not usually, that you see the ICC bring up charges against such important world leaders. Like, he's one of the more higher up of the leaders around the world since he's been entrenched for so long as their prime minister. So we'll see what happened there, but it's not getting any good. We're just inching closer and closer to World War III, which I have said plenty of times will happen sooner rather than later, and I don't see any change to that with any of this news. All right, moving on to pop culture. Again, make sure you're subscribed at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS on YouTube and at Instagram. Daniel Barry, shout out. Thank you for tuning in. Yo, it's good, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned because we're about to go to our sports rankings here very shortly. My brother, Canteen, part of The Bottom Line Sports. Make sure y'all join The Bottom Line Sports Facebook group for all the awesome trash talk and all the sports news when it comes on. Salute, my brother. All right, so let's keep it moving on. Thank you to everybody on Instagram and on Facebook, as well as the YouTube platform. Speaking of social media, you know how you love how I do these segues. Social media platform Blue Sky. If you have not heard of Blue Sky is the alternative to X or Twitter. It was actually created by the former COO, I believe, or CEO, one of the two, of Twitter. So he went over and created his own platform. It works pretty much very similarly to Twitter. There are some different login processes and other things that you have to do, joining groups and other things. I've played around with it. It's okay. I'm still more on X Twitter, obviously, since that's where I have a bigger following. But Blue Sky did surpass 21 million users, up from 13 last month. So a gain of 8 million users in 1 month for Blue Sky. So if you're tired of X Twitter and you want an alternative, Blue Sky is there. Go ahead and check it out. In other news, music news, Coachella has announced the headliners for 2025. So any of you out there in the Valley, in Cali, ooh, you like them rhymes, you're going to see Green Day, Lady Gaga, Travis Scott, and Post Malizzy. He be out here in Nashville all the time. Me and him got to hang out. We got to hang out, Post. Hit me up, Posty. Lastly, in music, and shout out my boy DJ Daddy West. Lastly, in music, Kendrick Lamar has surprised us with a brand new album called GNX, which stands for Grand National Experiment. It's after a car that he owns, a Buick Grand National Experiment. I have not listened to all of it yet. I listened to a couple of the tracks. Obviously, it does have the Not Like Us diss track of Drake, which has already garnered him 7 Grammy nominations. So it looks like Kendrick and Taylor Swift will be taking home most of the Grammys this year. So if you had a hope or a dream, any of you artists or musicians out there, to win a Grammy, probably not going to happen this year. Anyways, moving on. Some wins. I like to give us some wins and some fails for the week. First win. Shout out the University of Texas. Hot take, Jake. His school out there, the University of Texas, shout them out because they have done something really good. The UT system will provide free tuition for students that come from families that earn less than $100,000 a year. So for the families the middle class families, the low income families that cannot afford to a university education like that. Obviously not the more wealthy families that can. This is amazing. I think this is beautiful. I think that every school should do this. I mean, well, if you know me well enough, we should have free education and free healthcare in this country anyways, but that's a whole nother conversation that maybe I'll just have to do on the mind of the professor here, which I think I'm going to do next week. I'm not sure yet. Anyways, so I think this is a really great idea. They should do this everywhere. It will take effect next fall and go to all of UT's extending 9 other satellite campuses as well. And they will receive free tuition and fees. So I think that every school should move to do this. This move is going to be significant as it shows that 56% of the University of Texas students in state receive financial aid. So wow, over half the students will now get free tuition. That is amazing. And they're doing this because enrollment declined because of during that period they had lower enrollment across the board. And they're trying to increase, obviously, their enrollment to get more students on to campus. Also, MIT is doing something similar, and they're doing it for families earning less than $200,000, which will cover 8 out of every 10 students. 80% of MIT's incoming class will now get free tuition and fees. How amazing is that? We provide free tuition to the best, it should be all schools, but to the best schools, at least MIT, so we can get those scientists and those doctors and those smart people out in the world that we need to get out there and start getting them trained up correctly. Speaking of wins in the medical arena, there's a new surgery rather, or procedure that can replace knee replacements. So as you know, this hits close to home because I have bad knees. I've had surgery on both of my legs. This is actually uses coral, like coral reef. And what they do is they take the coral and they inject it into your knee where your cartilage is, and it regenerates the cartilage growth, which is the main problem of people with most knee injuries with ACLs, MCLs, things like that. So that's amazing. If they, I'm looking into it. I might get it done myself. Moving on to the fails of the week. First of all, Tampa Bay Rays, your whole franchise is a fail. City of Tampa Bay, ridiculous. St. Petersburg City Council initially approved $23 million in repairs for the hurricane-damaged Tropicana Field, but then they later reversed their decision, and now the roof does not even have a contract to be repaired. The repairs are estimated at $55.7 million. They may not even get this done in time for 2026. So obviously they're going to have to go play somewhere in Florida, which has a lot of baseball fields, but they have to go maybe somewhere in spring training or something like that. Now the city is legally obligated to fix the roof, but some council members raised concerns about the cost and uncertainty surrounding the repairs. So now the council is reviewing its options. They were thinking about building a newer Rays ballpark as part of a larger redevelopment in the historic gas plant district, which is a predominantly black neighborhood, which was displaced when they originally built Tropicana Field. Plans include Black History Museum, affordable housing, and other stuff. But this is just gentrification at its finest. It's the same thing that the Washington Nationals did back home in DC where they gentrified Anacostia, South Capitol Street, and Berry Farms area. And basically all that does is put a Band-Aid on a larger existential, systematic racism problem that we have in this country. But that's neither here nor there. And another thing maybe that should be saved for the mind of the professor. I'm not going to get into that right now because I want to go watch football. But what I will say is, hey, MLB could get control of this. They should be in Nashville already. Bring them out to Nashville, baby. We deserve a baseball team. And the Tampa Bay, their fans don't even go. My brother Derek, Clubber D's brother, my brother from another, he tells us all the time that Tampa Bay fans do not know how to support their teams properly, and especially the Rays, whose fans at the ballpark are nearly non-existent 24/7. Send them to Nashville. They will now be the Nashville. Let's see. The AAA team is the Sounds. I think they were supposed to be. I think when they were. Oh, that's right. They came up with a name that it was going to be. I forgot what it was, but it was named after an old Negro Leagues team from Tennessee. I can't remember what it was, the Stars or something like that, which would make sense because all the Nashville has all the Music City and the Stars and everything. So that would make sense. So, hey, bring them over, MLB. Thank you very much. Our second fail of the week, our last fail of the week, Tennessee. I know this is a very Tennessee-centric fails here. I didn't do that on purpose. Actually, the Tennessee, that was a Tampa Bay fail. That will be a Tennessee win. This will be a Tennessee fail. Musician Jamie Johnson was arrested in Tennessee recently. And he was arrested just outside of Nashville for speeding and possession of marijuana. The 49-year-old country music star was taken into custody in Williamson County, charged with marijuana possession and speeding, a bond set at $500,000, which he got out the next day anyways, and even performed at the CMAs later that week. Prayers up for you, Jamie Johnson, my brother. Maybe one day we can take flight together. I support you. This is ridiculous. What are we doing? I know Tennessee is not a legal state for marijuana, but that's bullshit. Why are we giving out felonies for? Let me get this correct. Tennessee code states that possession of between a half ounce to 10 pounds of marijuana is a Class E felony, punishable by up to 1 to 6 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. Now, I would find it very, very, very hard to believe that they're going to put this man or any man or woman in jail for up to 6 years for a freaking half ounce of marijuana. That is ridiculous. That is not even a lot. That is, first of all, we need to legalize marijuana in America. It just needs to be legalized. There's no reason it shouldn't be. We should be legalizing it and then taxing it and making money off of it so we can make more money in this country. There's no point in not doing it anyways. It's not like people in every state don't already use. It's not like there's not an underground illegal drug market anyways. Why not just legalize it? It's not like it's cocaine or meth or anything like that. It's marijuana. Okay. Let's get over this stupid reefer madness bullshit that they brought up back in the 1910s, 1920s, when they were trying to hullabaloo and scare you into thinking marijuana is bad and it's the devil's lettuce and all this other bullshit that is not true. That's bullshit. He better not go to jail for this. And Tennessee, I know it's not legal here, but y'all need to get rid of that law. That's stupid. It can't be. Now, 10 pounds. Okay. We can agree there. We can definitely agree there. If you have 10 pounds of marijuana, you're probably selling it. Let's be completely honest. You're probably doing something illegal that you should not be doing. And so you should get in trouble for that. And you probably should get a felony. I agree with that. But a half ounce? No. They got to at least change that to be, I don't know. I've never had a pound of marijuana, so I don't even know. But I would guess it would be, I don't know, you maybe 5 pounds, 3 pounds. I don't know, but it can't be a half ounce because that's ridiculous. Anyways, let me get off my soapbox. Y'all know I am an advocate. I think medicinal marijuana is amazing, especially for people in need that have very many needs, from depression and anxiety to any numerous diseases out there, to ailments, to aches, to pains, to sleep deprivation to everything. So again, shout out to everybody tuned in. I see my boy Austin tuned in on the IG. My brother, it's been a minute. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm still here in Nashville. I'm still at the same apartment complex. We need to hang out soon. All right. Before we get out of here for the night and go watch a little Baltimore, Los Angeles football action, let us get into our rankings for the week. You know, we like to do our weekly rankings for all of our different sports. So first of all, you know where I got to start out. I got to start out with women's college basketball. Yeah, I said it. Women's college basketball is where we are starting. And you already know why. Hold up. Hey, hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on 1 second. Give me one moment. Hey, for you people, you be acting too soft. Hold up. Where did it go? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Ah! No. All right, I can't find it. I don't know where I put it. That's okay. That's okay. I don't know where I put it. I was gonna rep my UCLA hoodie. I just had it earlier because I was gonna pack it and take it home, but now I don't know where I put it. Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm trying to pack, so I got crap all over the place. Anyways, UCLA, shout out to my Lady Bruins. Yeah. Shout out to all the wonderful ladies out there. My girl Kiki Rice from DC, Stidwell Friends, the DMV, Lauren Betts, the best center in the world. Let's go. All the ladies, the little hawkers out there, the junior hawkers, you know what I mean? We get all the transfers. Oh, man, we just got a great, wonderful team that played a beautiful brand of basketball and beat the number one team in the world, the South Carolina Gamecocks, who were on a 43-week streak of being number one. They are no longer number one. They came into UCLA. They came into Pauley Pavilion, the throne of John Wooden, the hallowed halls of Lou Alcindor and Bill Walton, and they got demolished by 15, a blowout, 77-62. And now those Lady Bruins are ranked number one in the polls. Number two, UConn. UConn had a good win this weekend as well. They moved to 4-0, and then another undefeated team before we get to one that isn't, which is going to be South Carolina. Notre Dame at number 3 beat FUSC. That's right, FUSC. They beat those Trojan condoms, laid a little whooping to Juju Watkins and the fam, moved them out of the get out of here, kicked them out of the top 5. Notre Dame's at number 3. South Carolina, again, big losers to my Bruins, moved down to number 4. And Jake's Lady Longhorns, Texas, moved to 4-0 and at number 5 in the rankings. Now we move over to the men. Number 1 in your men's ranking, Kansas at 5-0, followed up by UConn at 4-0, who had a really good win today in a thrilling overtime game, which I had the pleasure of watching a little earlier. Gonzaga at number 3. Auburn is at number 4, and then Iowa State at 3-0, moving to number 5. So that'll round out your men's college basketball rankings. Now, moving on to our power rankings in the NBA. You know who has to be back on top. You already know who has to be back on top. After beating the undefeated Cavaliers, my Boston Celtics are back on top. That is right. They have proven their domination, their superiority to the rest of the league. And we're going to run it back. We're going to get championship number 2. We're going back to back. I've been telling y'all this since last year. You will see me and Papa Ruben courtside again next year. I'm already making plans to buy those. I'll sit right next to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown this time, so that way I can get all my autographs and put some pictures. I am manifesting it. Anyways, moving on from my beautiful Celtics. Number 2, the Cavaliers. Again, Still a really good team. Yeah, they lost to the Celtics, but they lost to a better team. They're still 17-1. I mean, that's an amazing record. Can't hate on that. Golden State is at number 3 with a 12-4 record. Yep, Steph Curry still cooking it up in Golden State. Oklahoma City has been able to withstand the absence of Kevin Durant, who is on a 2-week injury with the calf, neck. I hope somebody's watching that did neck with me growing up, because I'm just going to neck myself for that. I sure did say Oklahoma City and then say Kevin Durant like this is 2012. Wow, what is wrong with me? Oklahoma City with SGA and who I meant to say, the big loss of Chet Holmgren, who broke his pelvis and out for 2 months. Not Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant does have that calf injury. It's just he plays for Phoenix, not Oklahoma. Anyways, Oklahoma's at number 4. And then the Houston Rockets. What? The Houston Rockets, the team that has had like 20 wins over the past 2 years. Shout out to Ime Udoka. That dude can coach. He took this team from a laughingstock a few years ago that even James Harden didn't even want to play for anymore. And now they are 12-6 and at number 5 in your NBA power rankings. Moving on to our NHL power rankings. Whoops, hold on one second. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I accidentally hit the wrong page. Give me 1 second here. Where did I put it? Where did it go? Come back, power rankings. Okay, we're going to have to come back to that. Forget it. NHL, you're going to have to come back to. We'll move into our NFL power rankings before our game tonight between Baltimore and Los Angeles, which is about to come on here in about 5 minutes. So let me wrap this up. Hold on. Man, I really messed that up, didn't I? I did not have the proper links. I thought I had the links correct, but it looks like I did not. So let me see if I can. Yep, that's not going to work either. Well, good job, Omar. You completely messed that one up. All right. Well, I'm just going to have to. Geez Louise. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to look it up. All right. From NHL.com, the NHL Power Rankings. You have. Nope, that's definitely not true at all. Okay. I completely screwed that up. My apologies. I am going to get this fixed immediately. All right. Make sure you're subscribed at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Winnipeg Jets are number 1. Thank you. The Carolina Hurricanes coming in at number 2. They're on a heater right now. Minnesota Wild moving up to the number 3 position. Our NHL insider, Shane Peacher, and his Washington Capitals moving up to number 4. Now, Alex Ovechkin was injured, and he is week to week. He was having one of his best seasons of all time, chasing the great one, Wayne Gretzky, and getting ready to pass his goals record. So it is sad that he got injured. Wayne Gretzky is my favorite player of all time. So I will be sad when his record is passed. But if anybody should break it, I think it should be Ovechkin. I really like Ovechkin. It's sad that he got injured, so this may take it away. He may not be able to break the record this year. He may have to wait till next year to break the record, which may have been a thing anyways. But anyways, it just sucks that he is going to be out for a little bit. And then number 5, your defending champion, Florida Panthers. All right, now moving back to the NBA where we were originally. Not the NBA. Excuse me, I already did the NBA. NFL, which I was about to move into after the NHL. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. One moment. Okay, really? All right, there we go. Okay. Now it's wanting to work with me finally. All right. So anyways, at number 1, your Detroit Lions, obviously the best team in the league right now, just running a rough shot over everybody. Buffalo at number 2. You got Kansas City at number 3. Eagles at number 4. And then at number 5, your Minnesota Vikings. Surprising Minnesota Vikings. So craziness there. And then last but not least, we will move into our college football rankings. The new rankings, the playoff rankings, come out every Tuesday. So those will be out tomorrow, obviously, because today is Monday. So let me give you the power rankings going into tomorrow's actual playoff rankings. Oregon Ducks stay at number 1, where they've been for about 7 weeks now. Ohio State Buckeyes check in at number 2. Hot Take Jake's Texas Longhorns check in at number 3. Notre Dame with a huge blowout victory over Army, just completely neutralized them. They move up to number 4, and Penn State still holding strong there at number 5, with Canteen's Georgia Bulldogs bringing up the rear. Bringing up the number 6 position. I'll shout them out as a honorable mention. All right. Thank you all, as always, for tuning in to the Professor Semanalmente, which again for you Marks means weekly, because it's just my weekly show where I do news headlines, sports headlines, pop culture, whatever I can find that tickles me fancy and I think you may like us to discuss. That being said, again, please hit that like button, share this video, share Ball and Buds with your friends. Please make sure you are subscribed at Ball and Buds on YouTube, BALLANDBUDS. And also follow us on Instagram. Starting to do a lot more boxing interviews. Shout out Country Box, Jimmy Adams, Ashley Adams. I did a video with Oliver McCall. I did an interview after his historic fight in which he broke Mike Tyson's record from last week as a 59-year-old fighting at Country Box. So check out my exclusive interview. I was the only one to get an interview with him after the fight, directly after. So go check it out. It's only a minute long. Please support, subscribe at Ball and Buds. You know I love you. Happy Thanksgiving again. If you are in the DMV, I am coming home Wednesday. I will be flying in. I'm going to spend the first few days with my mother. But come that Saturday, or this Saturday rather, starting on the beautiful 30th, after I have my Saturday morning stuff I got to do with my mom that morning, I will be ready to hang out with any and everyone who wants to hang out for the next 4 weeks after that, as I will be home through New Year's. So shout out DMV. I will be home for at least 5 weeks, probably a little bit more. And I hope to see as many of you beautiful faces as possible. That being said, I am Omar, the Professor Fonseca. Tomorrow night, Bottom Line Sports. Join the Facebook group at the Bottom Line Sports. We go on live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also Wednesday, remember, we're going to go 8 p.m. Eastern again for a new episode of Banter, Brawls, and Bravado with me, Clubber D, and 2 of our close friends. It's going to be a hilarious episode. We're going to talk to them about projects they're working on now, and then we're just going to make fun of each other the whole entire time. So it'll be pretty awesome. So make sure you tune in. And then obviously Thursday will be Thanksgiving. So again, I wish you all and your families a wonderful and blessed and happy Thanksgiving. And then after that, I will be back next week with my new Mind of the Professor on Monday, December the 2nd. Cool. All right, y'all. Thank you again for tuning in. As always, I appreciate the support. We all appreciate the support. Appreciate the support. Make sure you subscribe at Ball and Buds. Holla 5,000.
He's with the millions. It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Sports Professor. Oh!